Hello, and welcome to week 5 of my trading recordings. When opening the chart, I can see it seems pretty choppy and rangy so far. It seems like the bottom of the range would be a good place to enter long. I'm only looking for about 10 points as the range seems pretty tight. I'm not following my strategy that I previously developed. I'm trying to see how well I can do by feel and price action. I got stopped out for a 10-point loss. Now I'm wondering if it's going to be too choppy for me today. I'm working with a 20-point maximum daily loss, so I'm looking for one more trade at least. Here it looks like there's a downwards resistance level, so I'm wanting to go short. I decided to go short at the top of the range, entering at the previous peak. I have a 10-point stop loss and a 15-point take profit. A successful trade. It looks like the price hit my take profit by 2 ticks, then reversed to where my stop loss would have been. I got lucky and took profit at the bottom. I decided to go short at the high of the session. I'm thinking it's gonna range still. And with that, I'm ending trading for the day. I'll have 1 win and 2 losses for a total of negative 5.25 points on the day. It's not too bad. I wanted to stop to keep the losses small today as I wasn't extremely confident. I'm trying to trade basically on price action, going freehand, instead of following a specific strategy. January 30th. For my first trade, I'm going short because it's at a level where price bounced off twice just recently. I'm going to have a 10-point stop loss and 15-point take profit. In this trade, I'm looking for it to get close to the low of the day. I'm still testing to see how I do by freehand or price action. Yesterday wasn't too bad. I'd only lost 6 points for the day. As this trade was developing, I felt like I wanted to exit early. It just seems like the price isn't going to move in my direction. I'm forcing myself to accept the outcome of this trade and let it work itself out. As the trade got closer to the take profit, I wanted to exit early and close the trade for 12 or so points. I adjusted my take profit to the bottom of the previous low. I was thinking that price isn't going to get lower than that. The trade hit the take profit for 11.5 points, literally by 1 tick, and I'm deciding to end my day here. For my first trade, I went long at the bottom of the little range I saw. I was thinking at that point it was going to consolidate a little bit more and then continue up, but I got stopped out. For my second trade, I went long with a 15-point take profit and 10-point stop loss. I was thinking if price comes back down to my entry, I was going to add one more contract and then tighten up the take profit. But I'm glad I didn't. The trade got stopped out and the price continued to fall. I placed a long order at the bottom of the previous range, thinking price was going to bounce off. I put a short scalp at the top of the little range, 6-point take profit, 5-point stop loss. The trade closed in a few seconds for a win. I put another scalp for a short at the top of the previous peak. That also closed in a few seconds and I picked up another 6 points. And for my last trade, the limit order filled for a long. I adjusted the stop loss to match the other previous peak to give the trade slightly more room to develop. I closed the trade a minute or two later for 11 points or so. Then I decided to end for the day as I was break even. When I opened the charts, it looked like there was a top and bottom for the session so far. Since price was approaching the bottom, I wanted to place a limit order to go long, thinking it would bounce off. The take profit was about halfway up the previous peak and the stop loss left enough room for the low of the day and low of the session. As price got closer to my limit order, I decided to move my limit order closer to price. I didn't want to get left behind, though I soon found I didn't need to do that and my original entry would have been better. When I got filled, the price went under my entry. I was tempted to add a second contract. I didn't because I didn't want to add to a loser. The price soon went my way. Then there was a little bit of a pullback. I wanted to add to my winner, so I added a second contract. When I added the second, it hit my take profit pretty quickly. I decided to close all the positions. I originally wanted to have a runner, but I fumbled adding to the trade. Price continued to climb about 25 additional points, but I'm very happy with what I got today. When I opened the charts, it looked like there was some volatility. There were no entries for me where price was at. I was looking to see if there was a level that price may bounce off. For my first trade, I saw some higher highs and higher lows. I decided to go long. I had a take profit for under the high of the previous peak, and I wasn't confident there would be new highs for the day or that the peak would be passed. I tightened up my take profit and stop loss because it seemed that price was in a range at that time. Then my first trade got stopped out. For my second trade, I put a limit order at the top of the range for a short scalp. When price hit the top, the trade got filled, but got stopped out pretty quickly afterwards. And then for my third trade, which I didn't have on the recording, I entered a long scalp. At this point, it felt like a revenge trade. This trade also got stopped out. I then stopped for the day. I was really close to my maximum daily loss of 20 points. Now it's time for the recap for the week. It's week 5, January 29th to February 2nd. I had 7 wins and 7 losses. The average win was about 12 points, and the average loss was about 8.5 points. At the end of the week, I had 26 points of profit on the NQ. Not too bad, especially since I was going off my own intuition and watching price action. I feel pretty good about what I pulled off for this week. Next week, I will be continuing to use price action and freehand my trades.